Did you ask if you're allowed to photograph? Don't you think you should?
The veterans returning from Iraq and Afghanistan. You're going to hear speeches almost every day coming out of Congress about support for the troops. The purpose today is to make sure that those speeches mean something. And that when we say we support the troops, it means we not only support them when they're recruited, we support them in the field, and we support them when they come home. And that's what this is all about. It's just been a few weeks now since the Washington Post published a blockbuster series about the situation at Walter Reed Hospital. I visited Walter Reed a lot. Many members of Congress have. We never got. Well, Washington responded as it always does. I think we've created 8 commissions now to study Building 18. When it gets up to 18, maybe we'll stop. But the point is, we've got to go beyond commissions. We have to move this to action to make sure that the system that's available for our returning veterans gives them the very best in the care that's been promised to them. A lot of bills have been introduced by colleagues, Senator Obama, along with Senator McCaskill of Missouri. We just move the witnesses and leave the microphone. Is that good enough? And now continue to work on the system I mentioned. Scott Burton is a former Marine, part of the initial Iraq invasion. Discharged in 2004 and has been working with his related injuries since. Scott, tell us a little bit about your story and what you can learn from us here.
Oh, my name is Scott Durbin, and I'm currently a student at Northwestern studying political science, so I told Senator Durbin's office I would speak for as long as he would allow me. But I served in the Marine Corps from 2000 to 2004 in an infantry battalion in Southern California. In March of 2003, I deployed and participated in the initial invasion in Iraq. I did, as an infantry squad leader, I did basically anything you would assume an infantry Marine would do, including the trek through Baghdad and the sustainment operations afterwards. I spent about 7 months on duty in Iraq, and when I returned, similarly to virtually any veteran, I had to deal with the residual psychological and emotional effects. I think it's important to address the treatment of PTSD and related disorders individually because they're not a physically observable ailment. Also, the main symptom would be extreme feelings of guilt, and often veterans, as any veteran will tell you, they've lost friends overseas, and they've also seen life-altering physical wounds. And that guilt is only compounded with the feeling they may need treatment for something that doesn't seem substantial. But what was mainly surprising to me was that the power that post-traumatic stress disorder can surface. It might not be as physically observable as many of the wounds sustained in combat, but at times it requires that emergency treatment that those wounds would. So over the previous few years, I've been researching different ways to treat it. I attended the North Chicago VA, and I'd have to say everyone there is wonderful. Not only do the psychologists work with you at any hour, literally, of the day, but the veterans, particularly Vietnam and Korean, are more than helpful. They are so concerned with the veterans returning and want to make sure that they get the support they need that many of them, unfortunately, didn't. So that is always a great thing to talk to those veterans. Also, I'm interested in maybe bringing a sort of Eastern philosophy to the treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder, in particular yoga, meditation, that kind of mindset. I had the opportunity to sit in a yoga class designed for veterans in Boston, Massachusetts. And I was a little skeptical as to whether or not combat veterans would be interested in participating in yoga, but I spoke with the Vietnam veterans and a few Korean veterans, and they would not miss a week. So that's my goal is to bring that to the Chicagoland area at some point and implement it in the VA. And I'd like to thank Senator Durbin's office for allowing me to share my experiences, and I'm honored to be on the panel with these fine panelists.
Thank you very much. Katie Scott's son, Jason, was injured in an IED attack in Iraq. She has spent so much time working on behalf of her son, trying to make sure he received everything that he needed. She ended up losing her job because of it. Katie had a bit of a reunion here today with Ed, and some of her family support group. Katie, why don't you come on over here?